The sun was rising gently over the land of Burkina.
What's up, beautiful people? What's up, my African people? What's up, everybody? What's up, family, man? Listen, y'all know what time it is, bro. President Ibrahim Toure again. We're not gonna let nothing happen to him. We're not letting nothing happen, bro. This is 2025. My generation, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight back, bro. Y'all tripping. Let's watch the video. Let's see what happened. So they said a 5 years ago, save his life. I don't even know how that happened. I don't know how that possible. Let's see. And this is an AI voice, and man.
Faso. It was a beautiful morning. The air was cool and the birds were singing sweet songs in the trees.
The hell?
On a smooth, tarred road, a long convoy of black vehicles sped down the highway.
Huh?
In the middle of the convoy was the president's car, strong, shiny, and well guarded. Inside sat President Ibrahim Traoré, dressed smartly in his traditional wear, reading through some important files.
Uh-huh.
He looked up and said to his assistant, "We must get to the capital in 2 hours.
Yeah.
This meeting is for the future of our country. I must not be late." "Yes,
Oh.
Your Excellency," the assistant replied.
Bro, one thing I love about this man, bro, he care about his people, man. He care about his people, bro. Bro, it's on a mission, bro. Man.
The driver pressed the pedal harder. Everything was going well. The road was free. The journey was smooth. The guards sat upright,
Uh-huh.
their eyes scanning the road ahead, alert and ready. Then suddenly, a small figure stepped out from the bushes and stood boldly in the middle of the road.
Why would man? Bro, let's watch the video. Let's watch the video, chat.
"Hey, what's that?" one of the guards shouted. The driver hit
Hey, what's that, bro? Bro, really? You gonna see you gonna see a little girls in the middle of the road, and you be like, hey, what's that? Come on, bro.
the brake hard. The tires screeched. The car stopped just a few meters away from the child. Dust flew into the air. Everyone jumped out. The guards rushed forward with confusion. "It's a girl," one of them said, shocked. She looked about 5 years old. Her dress was torn, her feet bare, her hair dusty, but her
That's an African child right there. Dusty feet, no shoes, bro. Bro, that used to bring me back home, bro. Dusty feet. I ain't got no shirt. I got no shoes. Walking over the place, bro.
eyes, they were sharp, full of purpose. The driver shouted, "Move out of the way. This is the president's convoy. Do you want to unalive yourself?"
Hey, bro, what? Bro, what? That's so mean, bro. She a little girl. She don't have, you feel me? Oh, it's not. She a little girl, bro. She don't know better. Come on, bro.
But the little girl stood still and said in a calm but strong voice, "I need to see the president. It is urgent." The guards looked at each other,
Bro, there's no way of five. Bro, this is lie, bro. This is lie. This is scam. There's no way, bro. 5 years old or 5 years old with this. Oh hell, no. This is scam.
confused.
This is
One
scam.
of them replied harshly, "Little one, move. We have no time. We must arrive in 2 hours." She shook her head and said, "You will not pass here. Please."
What? Bro, imagine you driving, bro. At a 5 years old on your way. He said, man, get the heck out of the road, man. This motherfucker talk about, no, you cannot leave. Boy, get your ass off the road, boy. Tripping.
The president, curious and annoyed, stepped out of his car. He walked toward the scene, followed by his assistant. "What is going on here?" He asked, his voice deep.
That is how to
The
tell
girl
you.
pointed straight at him. You are the one I'm looking for." President Traoré blinked. "Me?" "Yes," she
You.
said. "You must not continue this journey. Wait here for 2 hours." There was silence. Then everyone burst into laughter. "You want the president of the whole nation to wait 2 hours because you said so," a guard mocked. But the girl did not laugh.
I cannot imagine, bro. Bro, I cannot really imagine this shit, bro. Whoever get this shit, bro, you tripping.
She repeated, "Please wait for 2 hours. If you pass this road now, you will not make it." The president frowned. "Little one, I respect children, but this is too far. I have waited years for this moment. This meeting is not for fun. It is for the betterment of our country. I
All right.
cannot stop now." The girl looked up into his eyes and said slowly, "A goat does not run in the daytime for nothing. I am not mad. I am not playing.
Damn.
Danger is on this road.
Damn.
You must not go."
Damn.
President Traoré turned away in anger.
I don't know, bro. But if I was the person, I don't think I'm gonna listen to a 5 years, bro. I think I was gonna die, bro. I'm not gonna listen to a 5 years, bro. Tripping.
This is foolishness. But as he walked back to his car, the girl shouted again. I saw it in my dream. A big fire, cars crying, people shouting, and you were in the middle of it. If you go now, you will.
Yo, 5 years. Yo, 5 years ago, explain that drink. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, chat. Hey, serious. Yo, 5 years old explain their dream. I did not see a 5 years old. Man, serious don't understand what the heck I'm saying,
Will
chat.
not come back. Please wait. The guards moved to carry her away, but something stopped the president. He looked back at her. She had tears in her eyes now. Her
uh,
little hands were shaking, but she still stood like a mountain. The president sighed deeply. He walked back to her and bent down to her
bro,
level.
this is scary, bro. I
Who
gotta
are you?
hold on. Let me make my
My
research,
name
chat.
is Hope, she whispered. I have no father, no mother. I sleep under the tree by the old well. But I saw this in my dream, and I had to stop you. President Traoré looked into her eyes again. She was serious. She was afraid, but she was not lying. He stood up and turned to his guards. Cancel the journey. We wait here for 2 hours. Sir?
Oh
They
my
all
god,
asked in shock. I said we wait, he shouted. And so the convoy stopped. Right.
chat. This shit is a cap, bro. I don't believe this shit, bro. I don't believe this shit. I'm not believing this shit, kid. I think I'm talking too much. Let's just watch the video.
There on the lonely road, under the trees, with a 5-year-old girl as their only reason. The president sat back in his car, not reading anymore. He looked out the window. I must be mad, he said quietly to himself, but something tells me she's not. 2 hours began. The sun was now higher in the sky, beating down on the black vehicles parked in the middle of nowhere. Time was moving slowly like a wounded snail. President Ibrahim Traoré sat in his car, eyes fixed on the ticking clock. 30 minutes had passed. He was losing his patience. His phone rang again. It was his assistant answering another call from the international business team.
Wait, what?
Mr. President, the assistant said nervously, they are calling again. President Traoré snatched the phone. Hello? A foreign voice came through, sharp and direct. Your Excellency, are you still coming? This delay is becoming disrespectful. If we
Chat.
don't see you in the next 90 minutes, we will assume you're not interested and give this multi-billion-dollar deal to another African country.
Wait,
President
what?
Traoré's face tightened. Please, I am on my way.
Bro, that's cap. Cause this man, bro, President, bro, President Abraham Barry, right? He's like, he don't want no money for, like, you don't want no money from no like Western country, bro. This cap. Western like reject all the loan and shit, bro. So how the heck this is cap, bro? This is all cap.
Just a little delay.
All cap.
You have 60 minutes left, the voice snapped. After that, the deal is gone. The call ended. The guards gathered around him, confused and angry. One of them stepped forward.
What the hell, bro? Hey, bro, this is the nigga, bro. I just forgot what this nigga name.
Your Excellency.
This nigga already look like the president too. All AI too. Them AIs be lying, bro.
What is this? Is this an assassination setup? What if that girl was sent by your enemies to delay you? Another said, let's leave this place now before something bad happens. You are the president. You must not be controlled by a street child. The president clenched his jaw. He was boiling inside. He stepped out of the car again and stormed toward the little girl, who was now sitting quietly on a stone by the roadside, looking at the sky.
I mean, bro, something you gotta listen, bro. You don't know. I think something you gotta listen, bro.
You, he shouted. I'm tired. I want to leave right now.
Alright,
Hope
go.
stood up slowly, still calm. Please wait. No, he barked. You have no right to stop me. You are too small. Too
That's what I'm
small to
saying,
command a
bro.
president. Who do you think you are? The guards were watching. His assistant was watching. Even the birds in the trees seemed to go silent.
Wait, what?
President Traore's voice dropped to a bitter tone. I blame myself for even listening to you in the first place. I am a man of power and wisdom. How did I become so foolish to stop because of a dream? Hope looked into his eyes, unshaken. She took a deep breath, then said something that made everyone freeze. Even a lion pauses when the antelope refuses to run.
Damn.
Silence.
What the
The wind
fuck?
blew gently through the trees. What? What do you mean? The president asked slowly. Hope stepped forward. You are the lion, strong, powerful, feared. But sometimes danger does not come like thunder. It comes quietly, like an antelope that does not run. And when the lion attacks, it falls into a trap.
Damn.
The president's heart skipped a beat. She continued, her voice soft but piercing. A big man who refuses to listen to a small warning becomes the loudest cry in the graveyard. One of the guards gasped. Another whispered, This girl, she is no ordinary child.
Bad, bro.
President Traoré felt a chill crawl up his spine. He looked around. Nothing seemed wrong, but something inside him began to shake.
I gotta do
Hope
something.
looked down at her feet, then said, If I was lying, would I have stood here in the sun, without food, without shoes to stop you? I have nothing, but I have this warning, and I gave it to you.
Damn.
The president stepped back slowly. His breathing had changed. He turned to his guards. We wait. Full stop. No one argued this time. They spread out and secured the area. Some sat under trees. Some stood, weapons ready. Others whispered to each other about the strange girl with parables stronger than bullets. Inside the
Bad, bro.
president's
See that
car,
a
he sat
regular
quietly.
kid? Oh,
His heart
stupid.
was heavy. His mind was running wild. He looked out the window again, and there she was, Hope, still sitting on the stone, staring into the sky like she was waiting for something to fall from it. He leaned back in his seat and closed his eyes. The last parable echoed in his head like a bell. A big man who refuses to listen to a small warning becomes the loudest cry in the graveyard.
Damn.
2 hours had passed. The president's convoy was still parked by the roadside, in the shade of tall trees. Everyone was tense. The guards stood on high alert. No one was laughing anymore. No one was rushing. All eyes
No way laughing at me because saying you funny. Nothing's funny, bro. Why you gonna laugh?
kept going back to the small girl called Hope, who had somehow brought a whole presidential journey to a stop. President Traoré sat in his car, silent. He had not spoken since Hope gave that last parable.
What?
His heart was uneasy. Doubts and thoughts danced in his mind like shadows. Then the call came. His assistant picked up the phone, then froze. Sir, he said, his voice shaking, it's from the National Emergency Team. Put it on speaker, the president said quickly. A voice filled with panic and sorrow came through the speaker. Your Excellency, there has been a terrible accident just 40 minutes ahead of your route.
Damn.
The entire convoy went silent. Tell me exactly what happened, the president demanded. Sir, a petrol tanker lost control on the highway and exploded. The fire spread instantly to more than 40 vehicles behind and in front of it. Buses, cars, bikes, all gone in flames. It happened about an hour ago, just about the time you would have passed there. Everyone gasped. The emergency team continued. Sir, no one survived, not even one person. All passengers, drivers, and passers-by are gone.
What?
Tears welled up in the eyes
Wait,
of the
what?
guards. The assistant dropped the phone and sat on the floor. President Traoré slowly stepped out of his vehicle. His legs were weak. His face was pale. He looked at Hope. She was still sitting on the same stone, quiet,
Quiet,
still,
bro. She ain't gonna say
like nothing
nothing.
had happened. But something had happened. Something big. He walked toward her slowly, like a man in a dream. The guards followed silently behind him. When he reached her, he knelt down on one knee. The president of a whole country, on his knees before a barefoot little girl. He looked at her and whispered, You saved my life. Hope looked up. It was not me. It was the dream I was given. He shook his head.
That's not a
You
little
could
girl,
have
bro.
ignored it. You could have stayed in the bush, but you stepped out. You stood in front of moving cars. You stood in front of me, a man everyone fears. I was afraid too, she replied quietly, but I was more afraid of what would happen if I didn't speak. The president bowed his head. How many children your age would do that? The guard
That's what I said, bro. Man, when I was 5 years, I was stupid as hell. Like, I was so stupid, bro. I didn't have no sense like this to talk. And I really don't care about. All I care about is food, bro. I really don't care.
Were
Man,
now wiping tears from their eyes. The assistant whispered to another guard, "She is not an ordinary girl. This is divine." President Traoré took Hope's tiny hand in his big one and looked at her with tears in his eyes. "Hope," he said gently, "from this day, your name will not just be Hope, it will be my hope. The hope of Burkina Faso, the hope that saved her leader."
damn.
The convoy moved again, but this time slowly and thoughtfully. The road back to the capital felt different, quiet, heavy. The guards sat still in their cars. The assistant stared out the window. Everyone was thinking the same thing. We would have died today, if not for that little girl.
Facts.
Hope sat beside President Ibrahim Traoré in the back seat. Her head leaned against the soft
Bro, like I was about to say, bro, so he left her in the he left her ass in the bush, yeah.
cushion, her small hands folded on her lap. She looked out the window as the trees passed by, not knowing what her bravery had truly done. When they finally reached the presidential villa, the gates opened and the convoy
Man, this nigga look like President Touré, bro. This nigga look like some regular truck driver, bro.
drove in. The palace staff rushed out to welcome the president, but froze when they saw the girl holding his hand. No one asked questions yet. Inside, the president called for an emergency staff meeting. His top officials, media team, guards, and assistants all gathered in the grand hall. Hope stood beside him, wearing the same torn dress, her face tired, her feet dusty, but the room was silent.
Bro, you should at least make her take a bath, bro. Make her take a shower, bro. Damn.
Then the president stepped forward. "I want everyone to stop what they are doing," he said firmly. "What I'm about to say is not politics. It's not government work. It's not for cameras. It is life and death." He
Damn.
looked at them all. "Today, I was on my way to a very important meeting, a meeting that could have brought billions to our country. I had waited long for it. My convoy was moving smoothly. All was well. Then suddenly, a 5-year-old orphan girl stepped out of the bush and stood in front of our moving convoy." Gas filled the hall. The president nodded slowly. "She told us to stop. She said we should wait 2 hours. We didn't believe her. We tried to send her away. She refused. She told me that if I moved forward, I would not return. She said it with such courage, such strength, such truth." He paused. "Out of annoyance and frustration, I almost left her there.
What?
But something in her words, especially her parables, shook my spirit. And so I listened." He turned toward Hope and placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. 2 hours later, we heard the news. A petrol tanker had fallen and exploded on the road we were meant to pass. More than 40 vehicles were caught in the fire. No one survived. If we had not stopped, I, my guards, my assistant, my entire team, we would be dead by now.
Go to wipe them
Silence filled
motherfucker.
the room like heavy fog. Tears rolled down the cheeks of some workers. One of the guards began to cry openly. Even the strongest men in the room were moved. The president wiped his eyes and looked at Hope again. "This little girl saved us all. She saved the president of a nation. She saved
Uh,
his men. And she did it with no shoes, no food, no family. Yet her voice was louder than every siren on our convoy." He turned to the room and said firmly, "From today, she is no longer an orphan. She is my child, my
damn.
daughter. Her name is Hope, and I will raise her in this palace. I will educate her, protect her, and give her everything she needs." The staff cheered. Hope stood there quietly, tears falling down her cheeks. She had never been hugged like this, never been called daughter, never been this close to so many smiling faces. The
Haha.
president lifted her in his arms and said, "This is not just a child. She is a
Bro, is this cap,
national
bro?
treasure. She is the hope we all need." The next day, the president held a
I,
national
I don't
broadcast.
believe this shit, bro.
Cameras rolled.
I don't believe this
TV
shit.
stations stopped regular programs.
So I don't believe
People
this shit.
gathered in homes, markets, and schools to watch. When President Ibrahim Traoré came on screen, holding a small girl in his arms, the entire nation listened. He told the story, from the road, to the warning, to the parables, to the accident, to their survival, and finally to her adoption. The people of Burkina Faso wept. Old men wiped their eyes. Women hugged their children tighter. Young people shared her story on phones and radios. Hope's name was sung across the nation.
I never see this story on the radio. I never see this story on nothing. I never see this story on TikTok. I never heard about it, bro. I always watching, bro. I always watching this. I always watching his video and stuff, bro. But I never see shit like this. I don't know.
And from that day,
I don't know if I should believe it or I should not believe it.
every citizen, young and old, remembered her parables. Even a lion pauses when the antelope refuses to run.
Damn,
A big man who refuses to listen to a small warning becomes the loudest
I live
cry
in
in the
the graveyard.
graveyard.
That's tough. That's
Hope
tough.
began her new
That's
life
tough.
in the palace. She started school, she wore new clothes, she ate good food, she made new friends. And every time someone asked how she ended up as the president's daughter, she simply smiled and said, I just spoke what I saw in my dream. Moral lesson: no
You a
voice is
smart
too
ass little
small
girl.
to save a life. No message is too weak to be true. No leader is too big to listen. Sometimes greatness comes not from speaking loudly, but from hearing quietly.
Damn,
It is good to lead, but sometimes it is better to listen.
facts.
Dear viewers, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, share with your friends, and turn on the post notification bell.
Chat, 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 chat. Nah, bro. I don't believe this shit, bro. I really don't believe this shit. I really don't believe this shit. Somebody say, imagine this. This is an angel sent by God to rescue Traoré. Maybe that's an angel. We don't know. So hold on. So God sent an angel to rescue Traoré, and then the angel did not. And then the angel did not go back. The angel stayed with President Traoré. President Traoré raised the angel. That just not make sense, bro. President Traoré, God is with you. That's right. That don't really come, bro. President Traoré, God is with you. That's yeah. God Almighty, the creator of the universe, bless and protect Captain Traoré for Africa. That's it. Chat. Wait. Man, we gotta pray, bro, for them motherfuckers to not kill this thing. Because if they do, we cook. We cook. Because he's the only one who care about us, bro. If they kill him, we done. Alright, yo. I can be there, subscribe, man. I'm out.